What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Final Points. I am Brian Coyle, and joining me today to talk about the latest in the sports world are David Cho and Andrew Park. The big story, of course, is Johnny Manziel, the sophomore quarterback from Texas A&M, has been involved with an autograph in the South Florida area and may have gotten paid for his autographs, which, of course, is against NCAA rules. Cho, I'm going to start with you. What does this mean for Manziel?
Well, first of all, it depends how much they paid for him, because the only precedent we have with something like this is when AJ Green, who was at the time, sold his jersey from a bowl game for $1,000. His punishment was that he had to sit out 4 games and that he had to pay $1,000 to charity. So I guess that might happen for Johnny Manziel. However, we're hearing reports that it might be $7,500, which, by the way, can I just say, doesn't make sense for a kid who's literally made of money thanks to his grandfather's oil business. But anyway, if he's suspended for 4 games, I guess we just get right on with it, even though you do play Alabama in Week 3. However, you see, if he's suspended for the entire year, the news so far out of Johnny Manziel's camp is that they have a contingency plan in place, but I can't see it being anything other than him going to the NFL right after this year, and then Texas A&M having to scrape by because, honestly, no one knows who their backup quarterback is because everyone is thinking about Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, the plan could be 3 words: National Football League. Now, Andrew, like Cho just mentioned, Texas A&M's really between a rock and a hard place if they don't have Manziel on the field. What does this mean for them?
This means that they're going to have to get ready to go with Plan B. Any smart football program would prepare for the worst, and right now the worst is that Johnny Manziel gets suspended for the entire season, which I don't think will happen. But I think they're going to have to start getting the redshirt freshman quarterback Matt Davison in with the number 1 team and see what goes from there. Of course, not having Manziel is going to be a huge hit to them, as he was huge. Obviously, he was the first freshman to win the Heisman Trophy, and he is essential to that offense. He's the most important piece of that offense. He makes everything run, and without him, they're going to be looking for a lot of answers, and I don't think they'll find them in Matt Davis or any other quarterback that they have on their roster currently.
So basically, what the feel I get from both of you guys is that Texas A&M drops off. What does this mean for college football in general? Like, how does this not only impact the national championship race, but the future of college football? Let's start with Andrew.
Well, for one thing, it just says that college players basically can't make money off of their own name at all, which I think should be really changed, because if college football is truly, or college sports in general, if it's truly an amateur sport like they claim they will, then they should allow players who do get a lot of publicity through ESPN and a lot of any other national outlet, that they should be allowed. I think they should be allowed to make money away from the school, like they do, like people do in the Olympics. You see Michael Phelps, he gets Subway. He's an amateur athlete because he's in the Olympics, but he gets Subway ads. He gets so many different other merchandising funds that come to him, but that's all done outside of the Olympic infrastructure. So I think that NCAA right now, they're pretty much sending a message that we're an amateur sport, yet our players can make zero money off of themselves.
Cho.
Yeah, oh jeez, I'm just sitting here shaking my head because honestly, if you go to the NCAA shop right now, you can still buy Texas A&M jerseys with the number 2 on it. No name on the back, but you know, they're just gonna randomly sell a number 2 jersey. But for the field of college football, at first when I heard this news, I thought the biggest winner is probably Alabama. And then I thought, no, it's not really Alabama, because even if Johnny Manziel comes and he managed to get off scot-free and they play the whole season, let's say they meet in the SEC championship game, one of them loses, both with undefeated seasons. We might see something similar to LSU Alabama, where a couple years ago they faced each other in the SEC championship game and then faced each other in the BCS championship game as well. Well, actually they met during the season. Alabama played Arkansas. Anyway. But if Alabama just runs the table now, this opens the table for Ohio State with Braxton Miller to make its run for the number 2 spot. It makes Teddy Bridgewater and Louisville with now Michael Dyer in the backfield, a potential BCS dark horse. Oregon with Marcus Mariota. You even got UCLA with Brett Hundley and a ridiculous defense and a solid run game, even minus Jonathan Franklin, who was the senior and graduated this year. So what Johnny Manziel's absence actually does, it almost levels the playing field, and it might make SEC fans who don't want to see the SEC dominate the championship game year after year after year happier.
Oh, so I mean, I guess that's a positive you can look at for the rest of the college football world.
But like honestly, as one of Johnny Manziel's biggest and earliest fans, I would rather see Alabama and Johnny Manziel in the championship game than say Braxton Miller versus Alabama.
That actually parlays into my final question perfectly. You have been one of Manziel's staunchest supporters since even before the Alabama game, where you predicted that Texas A&M would win somehow, some way. You're the only person that had that. Manziel's NFL prospects, if he's shut out of this college football season, it's pretty much a done deal that he goes to the NFL because he doesn't want to deal with NCAA stuff anymore. What do you think of him as an NFL prospect?
Well, as an NFL prospect, here's the thing. Just because you're ruled ineligible doesn't necessarily always hurt your draft stock. For example, Des Bryant was ruled ineligible for his last season, still went in the first round to the Dallas Cowboys. The only thing is, when you're a quarterback, it's a little harder to be a diva and get away with it unless you're someone like Brett Favre. And even then, he was that towards the end of his career after he had already won 3 MVPs and established himself in the league. For Johnny Manziel, he's only, 6'1"? They're saying he's still growing, so let's just put him at 6'6'1". Russell Wilson has kind of opened the door for shorter quarterbacks to be in the league, as has Drew Brees. RG3 and Andrew Luck, Kaepernick have opened the door for read option quarterbacks. But no one has really opened the door for a diva kind of guy who's always in the public eye. The last guy we saw like this was Joe Namath, and that was not a century ago, but you know what I mean, in football terms, basically. Yeah. So I think he can play in this league. I still think he can be a winner, a Pro Bowler, a playoff caliber quarterback who, if you surround him with the right talent, can lead you to the Super Bowl. The only thing is, whether or not he's going to get a chance to show it.
Yeah, Andrew, same question.
I think that this summer has not been the best summer for Johnny Manziel publicly, with all those pictures coming out of him at the frat party, or him doing this, him doing that. I think that the NFL is a huge stipulator of character, especially with Roger Goodell saying that, coming out saying that the NFL right now, the image of his players isn't good, and I think that it has more to say with the current state of the NFL, and I think that the last thing the NFL needs is, like Cho said, it's a diva. But skill-wise, I think Johnny Manziel can make it to the league. He is undoubtedly an extremely talented player, and right now there is always going to be a premium on quarterbacks. Quarterback is the most important position in a team in terms of the offense, and I think that a lot of teams out there still have their quarterback positions in flux and would like to see a considerable upgrade. That being said, I don't know if there are a lot of teams out there that would like to gamble on Johnny Manziel. Yes, right now I am calling Johnny Manziel a gamble because of his character issues, or his perceived character issues, and a lot of negative press that he's been getting this past summer. So if he does come to the NFL, which is inevitable in 1 or 2 years, whether or not he does get the suspension for a year from the NCAA, I think that the pickings will, in terms of teams, will be a bit slim, more so than if he just had a quiet summer and he just played out his last couple of years at A&M. But I think that he will find a job in the NFL ultimately and get a position.
I mean, it will be something to watch as the season plays out. Of course, the whole investigation has to be played, plus appeals and all that. So we'll watch and comment on this story as it develops. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you like what you see, you can click the like button underneath the video. If you really like what you see out of this channel, we update frequently. Last week we had a couple of technical difficulties, but now we're back and we keep updating as the sports season progresses, especially in the fall. You can click subscribe if you want to get every video that we can. The rest of the details are in the bottom of the video right underneath in the description. You can visit us online to see articles besides just videos and stupid little gag stuff like that. We actually write articles on thefinalpoints.com. You guys should check it out. And follow us on Twitter at thefinalpoints. For David and Andrew, I'm Brian, and thank you for watching.